What's going on, guys? Good morning and welcome to another tutorial of tutorials for your mom. If you guys are new, I started these tutorials because of my beautiful mother and my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. I often find myself helping them out and trying to get their stuff set up and everything like that. I just wanted to make these videos to be as simple as possible with simple language, not super techy, to get people started using their camera so they can document their life experiences without the overly techie B-roll kind of things, and just straight to it, very casual. I want you guys to get to know me, and that's what YouTube is about for me. So anyways, let's get started. I recently posted a video on the Osmo Pocket 3 and how to set it up and all about that. And today I want to do the same thing for the Action 5 because these two cameras right now are the hottest cameras out there for daily vloggers, and a lot of even the big YouTubers are also starting to promote these cameras. I don't know if DJI is sponsoring or what they're doing, but I just think that people are just getting tired of carrying something like this around that's thousands of dollars. This is a few $1,000s right here, and it's huge. Like, look at this compared to this. I can't put this in my pocket, not even if I strip this down. This lens, I can't fit it. If I lose this, if I drop this, I bring this through water, that's gonna be a lot of money. It always makes me nervous bringing this everywhere. But this, I can honestly throw in my pocket. Nobody's gonna take you seriously, but this captures amazing professional footage, and it does it all for you in auto. And today I'm gonna show you exactly how to set it up so that you could just turn this thing on and start recording. Guys, these cameras were designed to make your life easy. I think we overcomplicate cameras, especially these, the Osmo Pocket 3 and the Action 5, by adding filters and all this stuff. I got monetized on this channel using my camera completely with the settings that I'm about to tell you. Now, if you haven't bought the Action 5 yet and you're looking into it, or the Osmo Pocket 3, I'm going to tell you real quick the big differences. If you're going to be dropping this camera because you got slippery hands and you feel like you're gonna drop this camera, or you're gonna be by the pool or the ocean or whatever, you want something rugged because you're a hiker, you just are an adventure person, then obviously the Action camera is gonna be the one for you to start vlogging with, because this thing is weatherproof. You can submerge it in water, I believe up to 20 meters or 10. Don't quote me on it. I'll put it right here. I'm gonna look it up and I'll put it right here. But you can literally dunk this whole thing underwater without any casing or anything, and you can pull it out and it's going to be completely fine. The Osmo Pocket 3, it's a lot more delicate. You get better image quality, and you get to be able to focus on things like this. See how I'm blurry? And then I go like this, and now I'm in focus. With this camera, everything is in focus because these cameras were designed for action. Everything needs to be in focus. There is no depth of field, and depth of field is just how like the background gets blurry as I get closer to the camera. You don't get that with this. One is very, very delicate, and one is like rugged and ready to go. Now, and that's pretty much all you need to know, because in the way I use these and the way I'm teaching you guys to use this is in full auto. Now, if you're gonna get into the advanced professional using filters and stuff like that, there are more differences to that. But this is a beginner's guide for people like my mom and my mother-in-law who are not gonna ever use filters or anything like that. When you look up the Action 5, I recommend going for the adventure combo, because it comes with the action rod, the extension rod right here, which you can just easily clip your Osmo Action camera and vlog like this. You can tilt it, turn it. You can also extend this up to 1.5 meters, which I've done in other vlogs. Go look at some of my other vlogs where I actually test this out, and it allows you to get a pretty wide angle field of view. Especially like, I just imagine myself like at like Zion Park in Arizona, or like the Grand Canyon or mountainous area, like extending this thing out and just being able to capture the whole scene. That's where this comes in. And then it gets really short. This is only like not even a foot long, and it's probably about 10 inches long. And it has got this good grip material. You can easily put this in your backpack on the side and then link this up. You can immediately just take this off and then mount it on your car. That's another thing too. This camera is they have so many attachments to it that you can mount it in your car, you can mount it anywhere. It's just in your bike and everything like that. And like I said, if you drop this thing is going to take the hit and it's going to continue working, unlike the Osmo Pocket 3. That one, if you drop, I can't guarantee you that it might be alive after one drop, especially if it lands right on the gimbal head that's on top of it, the little camera. You also, with the adventure pack, get 3 batteries that come in a little battery pack like this, and it shows you right here which ones are charged. Guys, the Action 5 has amazing battery life. I've been able to get anywhere from like 2.5 to 3 hours on this thing, vlogging all day. But I do take these in hand just in case I need an extra battery. I haven't yet in a whole day of vlogging switched batteries. I think that you're gonna have more than enough power to film for your day on your vacation. You also get a little case, a little protector case that goes around this. I don't recommend using that one. You can if you want to. It's just a little, I don't know, it feels a little cheap to me, and just the design doesn't make sense. I recommend going and getting a small rig or Ulanzi cage that mine should be coming in today, and it's like made out of metal. It's got a little hot shoe cover, so you can put a little light up here if you're vlogging at night. I'll be doing a review on that probably today and posting that video sometime this week. Unfortunately, the one thing you don't get with the Action 5 is going to be a microphone. You don't get that with the Adventure Pack. If you go to DJI.com, you can buy a single mic mini, and they're $60, and that's going to allow you to get amazing quality. The cool thing about having a microphone like this is that you're going to get better audio for your voice, especially if you're vlogging. And not that the internal microphone on this thing isn't good, it is, but if you're at arm's length like this vlogging, you're going to be completely fine. The problem is when you get up here, I'm going to do face tracking on this. This is the Osmo Pocket 3, but the problem is when you get up and you walk away like this from your camera, you can still hear me. No matter how far I walk away, you're going to be able to hear me very, very clearly. So that is the reason why I suggest that if you are going to buy some accessories, the first thing you should buy is microphones for this thing. Hold on, let me take off face tracking. All right, face tracking off. The cool thing with these cameras is that DJI made it super seamlessly for everybody that you don't need a receiver or anything. These microphones connect automatically to these cameras. You can actually connect up to 2 microphones. So if you're doing like an interview, or if you're out with your husband or partner, whatever, you can give them a mic. And if you're recording both of you guys, both of yourselves, you're gonna be able to capture amazing audio just like you hear right now. Now, one more accessory that I think that you should get is gonna be the mini extension rod. So obviously this is like the mini version of the one that comes with it in the Adventure Pack. And this one, the difference is that this one opens up into a tripod. So for talking videos like this camera just goes right here like this, and I'm able to stand it up on a desktop or wherever I want and be able to make videos like this, because obviously this doesn't have any legs like the Osmo Pocket with the tripod that comes with it on the Creator Pack. But that's about it. It collapses super tiny too, so you can vlog with it. This is the one I actually use the most, but I do see myself using this one. Here's the size difference right here. So you're looking at about, with the camera, maybe like a 6-inch difference. So it's not too much. They're still pretty tiny, except this one has a tripod, this one doesn't. I take this one for most of my things. It extends about 1.5 feet. And that's all I need for vlogging. So this is the extension mini rod. I highly suggest that you get this and the microphone. Those are separate. You don't need them right away. You can get away with this if you're starting out. Now let's get going with the settings, guys. This is gonna be real quick because it's that easy. We're gonna turn on the camera. You're gonna turn it on by hitting this side power button. You hold it down and it turns on that fast. Now I don't have a screen recorder here, but I'm gonna be putting the settings here on the bottom, and I'll just talk you through it. Hopefully this works for you guys. But we're gonna slide up on the camera. Actually, you can do it, it's better to do it in the back. I don't know why I'm using the smaller screen. You have 2 screens and you can do the same thing on both. You're gonna slide up, and the first thing you're gonna wanna do is go to 4K 6:9, and you're gonna click that for resolution. 6:9 is this wide field of view aspect ratio that we're used to seeing on our TVs and YouTube and everything like that. It's pretty standard. A lot of people are going to tell you, 1080 is good enough for online, but I like to future-proof my content, so I'm going to film in 4K. I feel like 4K is the standard now and moving forward, so just film in 4K. The micro SD cards, which I'll put an affiliated link, are very cheap. I recommend getting a 512 gigabyte card so that you can record videos so that you can record up to 12 hours on this thing. And because this only has, I believe 50 gigabytes or something, I'll put it down here, of internal storage space, which gives you a good hour of recording in case you do forget the SD card, or you just don't have enough money yet to buy it. You can get started with this, unlike the Osmo Pocket 3, which doesn't have any internal storage. So we're gonna go up again, 4K 6:9, and then on the frames you can either go 24 or 30. That's what I recommend for vlogs. I'll make another video on slow motion, and that's going to be the higher frame rates later, but for today, just regular video recording, we're going to go with either 30 or 24. 30 is going to give you a little bit of a smoother video. It kind of looks a little bit like a soap opera feel. You can feel free to test them out. Run a video test, one on 30 and one on 24, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, I can't do it here because however I upload the video, that's the frame rate that I need to upload it at. I can't switch frame rates in the video when I'm uploading it once it's already recorded. But I use 24 frames a second, so put it at that. And then you're gonna click up here on the top right corner, and I use the standard D-warp. These are your lens options on the right side. You got standard, D-warp, wide, ultra wide, and I keep it on the standard one. The standard one is wide enough to be able to vlog, capture pretty much everything. And D-warp means that it's going to get you the least amount of distortion. Basically, if you see here, there's actually distortion happening on this lens that I'm on. If you see here, the lines here aren't straight. They kind of start curving down on the edges. The edges start getting curved because we are using a super wide angle lens. And that's what happens when you start getting into wide angle lenses. You get some distortion on the edges, which is fine. Most of the time we're like in the middle of the camera, so it doesn't really make a big difference. And obviously you guys are watching this video even with this distortion, like you don't even care. But I keep it on standard, so I'm gonna advise that you keep it on there too. It's wide enough for everything. But if you do feel like you need a wider field of view, just go to these settings and you can switch it to wide, and you get a little bit wider field of view. Just know that you will introduce a little bit of distortion. The next spot is gonna be your stabilizing. Rock steady is going to be your standard stabilized footage. So when you're walking around, you're going to get really smooth footage. And then if you want even more smooth footage because you are running or something like that, rock steady plus is the next one. Now know that every time you increase the stabilizing, you're going to crop in the image a little bit more. So you're going to lose a little bit of the edges and the field of view. So I'm gonna just tell you, so I don't confuse you, I'm just gonna tell you to keep it at rock steady. That's all you need. That's all I've ever used for vlogging and all of my videos. You don't need to go onto the other ones. In the middle right of the screen, we're gonna click on that button, and you're gonna get the professional menu that shows you all the settings to the camera. You're gonna get exposure, and we're gonna leave that in auto. Now, the Action 5 doesn't do so good at low light. When it gets past 1600, you're gonna get a lot of grain in the photo and it's gonna degrade the image. That's very common and very normal for low light situations. And I'm gonna tell you that compared to other cameras, the Action 5 handles low light very, very, very well. Believe it or not, even with a little bit of the grain, it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna advise to turn this ISO, which is the camera light sensitivity, to 100 to 1600. We're gonna leave it at that. And then one of the things we're gonna do is over here now on the shutter speed, which is on the top left corner, we're gonna click on that, and we're gonna turn that down to 1/100 through 1/8000, and that is your shutter speed. Because the Action camera, unlike the Osmo Pocket 3, uses digital stabilizing. Basically uses software technology stabilize your footage when you're walking around, versus the Osmo Pocket 3 has a gimbal head that is mechanically stabilizing your footage. It needs to have a higher shutter speed. All you got to know is that you don't want to go under 100 so that your footage is stable. Simple as that. I'm not gonna get techie with this. So make sure you set it to 1/100 through 1/8000. And then we're gonna go back up to the top corner where it says EV. And we're gonna click on that, and we're gonna set that to -0.3 EV. What the EV is basically you're setting parameters on your camera. All cameras, your phone, your Osmo Pocket 3, and any camera that you turn on and uses auto features, is going to look at the image and it's gonna expose it so that it looks properly exposed, like this one, like so that you're not too bright, too dark. And it's gonna move the settings around. It's gonna say this gives you the cleanest image. But most of them sometimes get confused with the dark areas, like for example, my hair and this dark area here, and it tries to lift up the image to give it more light using software. And sometimes you end up blowing out the sky where there's no detail in the sky. The windows sometimes if you're looking outside are really blown out, or your skin tone tends to look really blown out, too bright. So what this does is when you put it at negative 0.3 EV, you're basically telling the camera, hey, whatever settings you think are perfect, I want you to dial it down a certain amount. And you can go down to -1, -2, -3, but negative 0.3 is what's been working for me for everything. I found that that's the sweet spot, and it does a very good job. So we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna hit confirm after that, and then we're going to go to white balance, and we're just gonna leave that at auto. Make sure that that's at AWB. White balance is basically how warm or cold your image looks. It adjusts automatically. Your phone does it automatically. You've never have to think about it. Don't think about it here. Leave it at the same auto white balance. These cameras have a color sensor at the front here, and they can detect the colors and give you a very accurate rendition of what the colors are on the environment. So you don't have to worry about that. Again, these cameras make things very easy. And then for color, you're gonna change that to normal 10-bit color, and you're gonna hit confirm. Don't worry about D-Log right now. I have another video on the Tutorials for Your Mom series that explains D-Log if you wanna jump to a more advanced level and explains all of that, tells you how to grade it using the app and all that stuff. But this video is just to set it up for a regular user to go out there and start making videos. So today, normal color profile is gonna be it. When you're using this, you do not need to color grade anything. Don't get caught up in this, I need to color grade my footage, I need to shoot D-Log or anything like that. No, you don't. Just keep it a normal color profile. This is gonna give you amazing colors and straight out of the camera, and you're ready to use your video, post it, and everything like that. Once you're there, then next to it, you have a tone option. And you have two options within that. You have neutral and vivid. Neutral is obviously just normal colors. Vivid is exactly what you hear. You're gonna get more contrast, and it's gonna punch the colors a little bit more. It's very hard to tell the difference, honestly. So I just keep it on neutral. It doesn't over process my image. Sometimes it can look a little too fake, too cartoonish. So I recommend to leave it on neutral. Hit confirm, slide up, and then for stabilizing scenario, we're gonna keep that on daily because that's gonna be the best for all of our daily vlogs, daily videos. And then the last option here, we're gonna go to image adjustment, and we're gonna bring down the texture to -2 and the noise to -2. Now you're probably wondering, what is texture? What is noise? Noise is when you're in a dark situation and you start getting little grainy artifacts all around your image. It starts looking really bad. And noise, if you have it at 0, it's gonna try to eliminate that by kind of adding this like almost waxy effect on the image, which then you start losing details such as sharpness and stuff like that. So I tend to turn it off. These cameras tend to be a little bit too strong on that, and -2 gives you the most natural, sharp image that you can. And then texture is the sharpness of your image, which I'm kind of contradicting myself here, but sharpness makes things look a little bit too crunchy, too digital, giving you that kind of cell phone look. And if you have that set up at 0, it's just a little bit too sharp. And if you want to get footage like I am getting right now, I have this to -2. It just gives you a softer look. You're not gonna sharpen your pores or any things, maybe your beard, your hair, your eyes, and everything like that. -2 on both of these things is going to give you the most natural image. So go ahead and set them on that. It is a preference thing, so not just because I said it means that that's what you have to do. Play around with those settings. That's completely up to you. I don't have my DJI Mic Mini hooked up to this camera because I have it hooked up to that. But if you bought the DJI Mic Mini, we're going to go over to the microphone. You're going to click on that. This isn't the menu that you're going to see, but I know what the menu looks like. It's going to have more little squares like that, but there's going to be a setting on there that says gain transmitter. You're going to want to dial that down all the way to -12, all the way down. And basically what that does is it turns down the sensitivity of your wireless microphone. These cameras, unfortunately, out of the box, straight out, like when you just link it up straight out of the box, the setting 0 is just too hot, which is in return you're gonna get a distorted signal, which if I start talking to you guys like this, even just raising my voice a little bit like this, you're going to get distortion on there, and that's going to be unpleasant for your listeners to hear. Turning these down to -12 is going to give you the most natural sound as well, and the best sound that you can get. Now, in terms of noise cancellation option, I recommend to leave that off, because part of vlogging is getting people to hear the ambient sounds where you're at, whether it's birds, wind, and everything like that. It submerges your viewer into your video. So at -12, you get just enough background noise to be able to get people feeling the environment that you're in. Now, if you're doing a video where you're explaining something and it's crucial for them to understand what you're saying, and you're in a public place with a lot of background noise, that's when I'm gonna say turn on the noise cancellation, because it does a good job at just picking up your voice and lowering up that background noise. But it does come with a drawback. Sometimes if it's too loud, it gets a little weird. So just be careful with that. Now that that's ready to go, there's one more setting on the audio, which I don't know why they put it in a different menu, but we're gonna scroll down. We're gonna go down now. We're gonna go to the settings menu, which is the one with the little gear on the top right corner. Click on that, and we're going to go to wireless microphone. And if you scroll up, this menu is grayed out for me. There's gonna be an option in there, and the only option you need to turn off is going to be the low cut filter. Turn that off, because what that does is it eliminates the bass, the deep sounds of your voice, and therefore making your microphone sound very cheap. And the bass and the lower frequencies is what we associate with professional. Is what makes people think, wow, that microphone sounds really professional, or you sound really nice. It's because you get a lot of those mid-tones and lower tones. And the reason why they have that low cut filter is because also the problem is that a lot of that background noise and wind and stuff tends to live on those lower frequencies. So removing those can give you kind of like a noise cancellation, but I'd rather keep it on because it does change your voice. Other than that, guys, that's everything you need to know to get started with this camera. It's gonna expose correctly. You can go outside. You don't need any of these ND filters. You're gonna be able to capture so much footage with this. This camera is easily, like, you can easily just mount it on this, go like this, vlog, open up the tripod, stand it up. These cameras have changed my life, and I highly recommend that you get the Action 5 if you are an adventurer, if you're a hiker, if you're gonna be in crazy weather, maybe you surf, maybe you wanna mount it on your bike or whatever. Action, obviously, by the name, means rugged, and it could withstand all the hits and everything like that. Now, if you want just slightly better image quality, but with the Osmo Pocket 3, you're gonna get a better image quality for talking head videos. And if you're gonna be walking out in the park and just doing some chill stuff, the Osmo Pocket 3 is gonna be a great camera to take with you. If you're able to afford both, I would say get both, because they complement each other so well. What this can do, the Osmo Pocket can do, and vice versa. And so having both of these in your vlogging kit is gonna be amazing. Anyways, this video took a little bit longer than what I thought, and I'm gonna be leaving the ND filter examples and all that stuff for another tutorial for those moms that maybe want to upgrade and mess around with filters now that they got the hang of vlogging and all that stuff. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you're thinking about purchasing any of these things, please use the affiliated links below. You'll help me out with some Chipotle, and the price stays the same for you guys. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.